yesterday's devastating incident on Water Street in Liverpool city centre. Prior to the incident, hundreds of thousands of people lined the streets of Liverpool and the city centre to pay tribute to Liverpool Football Club as they paraded their Premier League trophy. The atmosphere was electric, but sadly, just after 6 p.m, the joy of the day dissipated quickly after more than 50 people were injured when a car collided with people gathered on Water Street. We had worked extensively with event organisers and key partner agencies in the months ahead of the potential parade, and a robust traffic management plan was in place, which included a number of local authority road closures throughout the route and the city centre. This included Water Street, which was closed to traffic. It is believed the driver of the Ford Galaxy car involved in this incident was able to follow an ambulance onto Water Street after the roadblock was temporarily lifted so that the ambulance crew could attend to a member of the public who was having a suspected heart attack. As with many large events, with event organisers, we plan for all contingencies, and this included the implementation of road closures to protect pedestrians, and an armed policing presence was also in place throughout the day. There was no intelligence to suggest an incident of this nature would take place, and as we've previously stated, the incident is not being treated as terrorism. An extensive investigation into the precise circumstances of the incident is ongoing, and we continue to ask people not to speculate on the circumstances surrounding the incident and refrain from sharing distressing content online. I have no doubt regarding the impact that this appalling incident has had on those who were injured, their family and friends, and for those who witnessed the incident unfolding in front of them. It is so heartening to hear that the public has also recognised the human impact on our attending officers, staff and other emergency service colleagues from North West Ambulance Service and Merseyside Fire and Rescue. And I want to personally thank the public for their support of first responders who were on scene in a matter of seconds. Following the incident yesterday, I can confirm on behalf of the National Health Service that we are aware of 50 people who were treated at hospital for ongoing treatment. Of those, 11 remain in hospital for ongoing treatment. They are all in a stable condition, and I am pleased to say that they appear to be recovering well. I want to take the opportunity to pay tribute to the brave members of the emergency services who were on the scene of yesterday's incident within a matter of seconds. Following such a shocking incident, they immediately ran towards an extremely uncertain and potentially dangerous situation in an effort to protect members of the public and fellow emergency responders from harm. Merseyside Police continues to work with other emergency services, Liverpool City Council, Liverpool City Combined Regional Authority, local hospitals and health providers, and Liverpool Football Club, collectively in response to this incident. An extensive investigation into the precise circumstances of the incident is ongoing, and we continue to ask people not to speculate on the circumstances surrounding the incident and refrain from sharing distressing content online. Information, including video footage, can be passed via the Merseyside Police Major Incident Police portal, and all details are available on our website. Anyone with information or footage should contact Merseyside Police social media desk via X at MERPOLCC or on Facebook, Merseyside Police Contact Centre, or call 101. Alternatively, contact the independent charity Crime Stoppers anonymously on 0800 555 111 or via their website. I'm now going to hand over to Detective Chief Superintendent Karen Jaundrell, who will update on the investigation.
Thank you. My thoughts are with all those injured in this awful incident, their families and friends, and everyone who has been affected. Like us, many of you will still be coming to terms with what was a harrowing end to a day of celebration. I want to reassure the public of Merseyside that detectives are making significant progress as we seek to establish the full circumstances that led to this awful incident and bring the person responsible to justice. We have arrested a 53-year-old man from West Derby on suspicion of attempted murder, dangerous driving offences and driving whilst unfit through drugs. He remains in custody where he is being interviewed. We have a total of 65 confirmed casualties, many of whom required hospital treatment, and our officers and family liaison officers are providing specialist support to a large number of these victims. Further work is ongoing to identify other people affected, and we will continue to support these individuals in the days and weeks to come. Due to the number of victims in this case, we have received assistance from our neighbouring forces, for which we are extremely grateful. Our detectives are speaking to any witnesses, including those injured, witnesses at the scene and emergency responders, as we seek to get a full picture of exactly what happened. In addition, extensive CCTV inquiries are being carried out across the city to establish the movements of the car, a Ford Galaxy, before the incident took place. We have already had an incredible response from many of those who were there last night. I thank them for their cooperation and support with our investigation. And I would encourage anyone who has not yet contacted the police who may have information on this incident to do so. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, that was a statement there from Merseyside Police, giving a large amount of detail there. First, the Assistant Chief Constable, Jenny Sims, and then Detective Chief Superintendent Karen Jaundrell. Let's pick over that data now, joined by our Homeland Security Editor, Mark White. Mark, some key details coming out there. First of all, the fact that theory seems to now bear fruit, that the vehicle got access by following an ambulance, and then some more details about the charges placed against the individual. Bring us up to speed.
Yes, I mean, this would follow on really from what we got at the last news briefing at 11 o'clock last night, when the police did point to the fact that there were vehicle traffic management measures in place and roadblocks around the footprint of this parade, which begged the question of how on earth did this vehicle then get into the footprint of that parade. Well, now, according to the Assistant Chief Constable of Merseyside Police, the theory that this vehicle tailgated effectively an ambulance that was heading into that footprint to respond to an injured party, and the barriers were lifted temporarily to allow the ambulance in. It seems the vehicle then followed that ambulance in as well. And in terms of the number of people injured, well, a significant rise in the numbers treated in hospital. Last night we were told that 27 people had required hospital treatment. Now the police saying that 50 people in total were treated in hospital. 11 of those people who were injured remain in hospital today. On the very positive side, though, she said all were in a stable condition and all were responding well to the treatment that they were receiving. So that is both incredible and very encouraging, given the scenes that we saw and the number of casualties involved. The fact that at one point 4 people were pinned underneath this car after it came to a halt, including 3 adults and a child. They had to be freed by the fire and rescue service. Then we also heard about the investigation itself, an extensive investigation, the Assistant Chief Constable told us, into the precise circumstances of the incident, ongoing, urging people not to speculate. Well, of course, that's never going to happen. Of course, people are going to fill the information vacuum, and they have been. Some of it right, some of it wrong. That's why these news updates from the police and other emergency services are so vital in giving us actual facts of what is happening on the ground. We heard then from Detective Chief Superintendent Karen Dondrell there about that ongoing investigation. She said detectives were making significant progress in their efforts to bring the person responsible to justice, she said. An individual, a 53-year-old man, has been arrested on suspicion of dangerous and careless driving, and driving, she said, while unfit through drugs. Again, that's a piece of new information we weren't privy to before. So some significant lines, Martin, coming out. We've waited a long time, 16 hours since the last update, but at least we're a little clearer in some of the events, the tailgating of that ambulance with a view to this vehicle getting through the barriers, and the fact that this man has been arrested on suspicion of dangerous, careless driving, and of course, driving while under the influence of drugs.
Okay, Mark White, thank you there for that summary of that press conference. And now we're crossing live to our reporter, Charlie Peters, who joins us from Liverpool. Charlie, welcome to the show. So some significant detail there being laid down, and the primary piece of information there, a man from West Derby, as I understand it, that's a suburb of Liverpool to the left of the city, attempted murder. The charge, unfit to drive due to the presence of drugs, and a confirmation there that the vehicle appears to have followed an ambulance into the area to gain access. And on the ground there, Charlie Peters, still a community very much trying to get its head around what is a terrible tragedy to hit the city.
Well, good afternoon, Martin. And yes, just to pick up where Mark left off there, it is the update at the end from Detective Chief Superintendent Karen Dondrell, which I think was the most significant, to update us on the status of the suspect that they had in custody, that 53-year-old from West Derby, as you say, a suburb of Liverpool, a couple of kilometres northeast out of the city centre, being held at the moment on suspicion of attempted murder, driving offences, and also driving unfit through drugs. She also confirmed that there were some 65 casualties who had presented themselves, that announcement being made earlier, also on behalf of the NHS here at Merseyside Police headquarters. And of those 65, we also heard an update that 11 are receiving ongoing treatment, some 50 who had presented to hospital, more than 50 injured as that car collided with people in Water Street in the city centre, with the Assistant Chief Constable Jenny Sims there describing the atmosphere at that trophy parade as electric before this horror occurred. We also heard about how they had a robust plan in place for managing traffic, how there were armed police in attendance to this location, in attendance for monitoring the full parade, so extensive as it was, covering several hours, but also that they had no intelligence to indicate that a situation of this nature would occur. And then there was that key detail and the question that many have been asking, which is how on earth did that Ford Galaxy be driven into an area that was clearly cordoned off for vehicles, was pedestrians only, as was much of the city centre for almost 1 million people attending for that trophy presentation parade. And we were hearing that it's believed that the driver of the Ford Galaxy was able to follow an ambulance who was responding to a suspected heart attack during the parade. And we also heard that, of course, as was reiterated last night, it's a key piece of information that the police are very keen to put forward. This incident is not being treated as terrorism. They reconfirmed that an extensive investigation is ongoing, and we anticipate there will be further information from Merseyside Police as that investigation continues.
Thank you, Charlie Peters, and of course we'll keep our viewers up to speed as fresh information is released. Charlie Peters, live from Liverpool, thank you very much for joining us on the show.